me on the Tarot Machine. This is your monthly love reading for the month of November 2017, and this will be for the sign of Aquarius. So let me go ahead and give these cards a shuffle. The reason I didn't do any readings in October was because I was dealing with the stomach flu, and I usually don't do no. Oh, I don't do medication. More of a herbalist type of person because I got a degree in herbalism and stuff. So I had to clear it out naturally. So it takes a longer time to do it. So, and plus with the planetary action, it was just shutting my brain down from even thinking about stuff. And it was more, I was getting a sense of work on myself, kind of, before I can give out readings. So everything is good and squared and good to go. So let me go ahead and give you your cards for the month to see what you'll be working with in November. Oh yeah, that's what's up. Oh yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Ooh, another sign got that card too. Okay. And I have this new deck I've been wanting to use, but when everything went down, I couldn't use it. So I'm gonna show everybody. I meant to show the last line I did. This is a new deck. You have to special order it. And anybody that does tarot, my best suggestion is get you one of these decks. I'm gonna hold it up one more time. Get you one. You just need to get you some because the artwork on this deck is off the chain. It's off the hook. So you need to get you some. I'm gonna put the names of the decks I'm using on the bottom of the comment line. Underneath this video. Go ahead and get you one. It'll take you about a week or so to order it because you only can special order the deck, but the deck is off the chain. So and the imagery is off the chain. So let's go ahead and get started. In the middle of the reading, what you have is the Nine of Pentacles in the upright. The Nine of Pentacles in the upright. If you're single, what it's saying is either you're coming off like this to somebody you're talking to, or somebody else is coming off like this with you, that they're displaying the utmost of independence about themselves. They are comfortable with what they built for themselves, or they're comfortable enough within themselves and what they build that they can let somebody else kind of share with what they have when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship. Either you're coming off like this with somebody or somebody's coming off like this to you, that they see this certain kind of way that you carry yourself, that you don't have to worry about anything, even if you got in a relationship or was in a relationship or not in a relationship, that your confidence and your comfortability about yourself and what you built for yourself displays a different type of sexiness to them. Either you're coming off like this to somebody that you're talking to, or somebody that you're talking to is coming off like that with you, that their independence is starting to be the best quality that they can offer when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship, because no matter what y'all will go through, if y'all got into a one-on-one relationship, that you it would be handled. It will be always on a solid ground. If you already coupled up, what it's saying is that whatever you and your companion built in your relationship that you feel that is a benefit to your relationship, you are confident and independent and more, you're confident and you're secure with what you built in your relationship with your companion, and they are displaying it. They kind of wearing it on their chest, that they know that they got the I ain't gonna say the perfect life, because to me that's not really a real terminology. To me, that's a fake terminology that they put out there in the media to make people chase it. To me, that's what the term actually really means, that they put it out there so people can do anything they can to obtain it, and it kind of causes disruption on their normal everyday interactions with people, or how they will maneuver their own life into that quest of chasing it. But your companion, or you is doing this, or your companion is doing this, is displaying this independence, that they don't have to worry about something from the outside disrupting the foundation that they built in the relationship with you. Either your companion is doing this, you're doing this, or you're both is displaying this when people look at you as a couple, that you're comfortable and secure within the relationship and the foundation that you built with your companion. What you have underneath you, another winning card, it is the Six of Wands in the upright. For singles, it is saying that you're looking for somebody that will give you an acknowledgement and give you your fair shake when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship. Either you're seeing this in somebody that you may want to get in a relationship, or they see this in you, that if they get in a relationship with you, they don't have to worry about being ignored in a relationship. You will give them compliments when is needed in the relationship, and then your relationship is always will be put in a balance of always having a win for each of you, and an acknowledgement of what each of you do for each other in the relationship. Somebody see this in you if they get in a relationship with you, or you see this in somebody that you're talking to, that this person can bring a certain kind of a victory or emotional victory into yourself when it comes to being in a relationship with them. If you already coupled up, what it's saying is that you have a companion that recognizes your worth, that they recognizes your worth and your input to the relationship, and they know what you bring to the table, and they've been with you for a while, and they know your ability, and they always are complimenting on it, or they always give you praise in the relationship, or they always make an acknowledgement to others of what you do for them when you're in a relationship with them. Either your companion is doing this, or you're doing this, or you both are doing this when it comes to displaying yourself as a couple to the outside world, outside of yours, that you know what kind of companion you have, and you know what their worth is, and you know what their value is. What you have in the past is the King of Pentacles in the upright. Way too much winning. Way too much winning going on. But if you, this is somebody in the past. In the past, for singles, you could have met somebody that 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 they could have been a businessman, or they could have been in a business sector, and they're a person that was very focused on building something solid in a relationship, or bringing the tangibles to the table when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship. Either somebody in the past seen this in you, or you see this in somebody in the past that you was talking to, that you had a potential candidate that I don't know if you took them or you didn't take them, but that they displayed themselves as more of a businessman when it came to being in a one-on-one relationship. They was not a person that would display themselves as being kooky and flaky and over emotional and drowning in a cup. They took a relationship just as a business, because they wanted to make sure if they was going to invest their time, and time is money, they wanted to make sure that they was getting their full worth and building on something that can help them build better when it came to being in a one-on-one relationship. Either somebody seen this in you in the past, or you seen this in somebody that you was talking to in the past. If you already coupled up, what it's saying is that either your companion was in this mode, or you was in this mode, that they was focused on keeping adding different layers to your foundation of your relationship. They was trying to make it real solid by taking more of a business standpoint, a stance on stuff, or trying to work hard to be a better provider when it came to being in a one-on-one not a one-on-one relationship, but to your union. When it came to being a couple, either your companion did this or you did this, that they took a more firmer standpoint of building the foundation that you already built your relationship on, to make it tighter by putting in hard work that would have a physical or a visible result when it came to your union as a couple. Your companion did this, you did this with the companion, or you both decided to do it, to put in that hard work for that. What you have above you is the Page of Wands in reverse. So the Page of Wands in the reverse is saying that during the month, for singles, you could be meeting somebody younger than you, or younger in mentality than you, or younger in experience than you. And what it is that they displaying a sort of a nonchalant attitude when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship. When you give them what you can offer in a relationship, they don't seem like they are paying attention to it, or they're not bothered by it, or it's not making them move forward or levitate to you to be in a relationship, because either they're too young and they don't understand it, or they're just not at that space yet because of their immaturity, mental or age wise, that they don't want to venture ahead and try it out. They're trying to sit back on the fence, and maybe they're looking for something different for you to offer to be in a one-on-one relationship, or they have not constructed their own idea of what a relationship would take, so they don't move. Either you're coming off like this with somebody, and or they coming off like this to you when you're talking to them, and it's coming off based on not the person itself. It's the information that's being brought and dropped on the table is making them have this reaction. Either you're having this reaction, or the person you're talking to is having this reaction. That you dropping all this stuff that you can do, or what you can provide, or what you can offer in a relationship, and they're just not moving because either they just don't understand it, basically, or they're just too young to wrap their head around it. So that's one of those things when you deal with a youngster. So it is what it is. If you already coupled up, what it's saying is that because you built a solid foundation and you know how your relationship is, you doing some pullback. You're not trying to exert more energy to it. You're trying to let the moment ride the way it is. You're not trying to disrupt it. So you're taking a little bit of a lazy attitude to the your bond with your companion, because you have it good now. Why interject more stuff that may have a reaction of chaos in your relationship? So you kind of slack it back. Either your companion is doing this, or you're doing this, that you decided to kind of slack back and not try to rush in new stuff to the relationship, or bring new stuff to the table, or whatever, because you have it good now. It's solid now. If you interject other stuff in it, it's making you cautious that it might have a reverse effect on your bond with your companion. Either your companion is doing this, or you're doing this with the companion, to decide to slack back and ride the moment the way it is, because it is a comfortable and solid space for both you and your companion. Once you have the last card going into the future, you got the Hermit upright. So the Hermit upright is saying, for singles, what it's saying is you could meet a person and they could have a couple attitudes about this, or a couple ways they present themselves to you. One, they present themselves more like an isolated person. They're more a person that when you meet them, they seem like they always caught in their own bubble, and it is making it kind of hard. Maybe the inexperience that they carrying is making them have this effect, like they trapped in their own sphere when it comes to getting into a one-on-one relationship with somebody, or the person just got out of a relationship and they had to sit back and kind of analyze themselves, but they're still putting themselves out there because they're trying to compare themselves to what is going around them or what's in their world and seeing how they fit in. So they still creating this kind of bubble effect when people get around them, like they just this lone wolf when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship. Either you're presenting yourself like this to somebody you're talking to, or they present themselves like this to you, or you seeing this person that you may be interested in, but they keeping themselves more to themselves. They more of sitting back analyzing, but I think they're sitting back analyzing in the open to see what shoe they're going to put on now to see how they can fit into this, I guess, the changes that they're going through when it comes to being in a relationship. They trying to see where they fit at now, but they're still trying to be open to it. But they need a mirror. They need a comparison. They need an example. This is the biggest word I can hear. They need an example to compare themselves to recraft themselves, and that's what I'm getting when it comes to hermit and people still trying to find relationships. They trying to place themselves, be in there but out there kind of effect, and that's what you could be doing this with somebody you're talking to, or somebody's doing this to you. The last thing is, maybe you're at a state now with your quest on finding a relationship that you may have to go inside yourself and reanalyze what you want. So it's taking you kind of drawing back, and either you're drawing back still in the public looking for the comparison, or you're drawing back by yourself to reanalyze where your feelings are sitting now, or what you want when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship with somebody. Either you're doing this or somebody else is doing it. It's like you see them 1 minute and then they gone for 2 weeks, then they pop back up, and then it's one of those things because they keep going back and they herming away to keep. They get their scratch board, they get their vision, they get their comparison, they get their mirror, go back and they kind of reanalyze it, then they kind of reappear again. But this is their pattern kind of until they find their footing kind of when it comes to what they want to be in a one-on-one relationship. I hope you understood that. I hope that didn't sound very confusing, but that's what some people do when it comes to reinventing themselves, to put themselves back out there to be eligible to find them a one-on-one relationship. Some people do that as a habitual pattern of going back within themselves to reanalyze themselves, come back out, find another comparison, and or look for whatever they invented to see it if it's in their environment around them, and they trying to use somebody else as a scratch board, and if it don't work, they go back in and kind of revamp it again. So it's more trying to find a footing. If you are already coupled up, it's what it's saying is, with this downtime that your companion is not trying to rush nothing new to the table, either you're thinking this or your companion is thinking this, that you will just kind of herm up with each other and spend more time away from the public and enjoy the moment that your relationship is solid just between the both of you. So you decided to kind of kill out the external noise that you would usually bring into your relationship that could cause confusion. It's kind of like you herming away to bask in the moment. And that's what I'm getting with the cards. You're basking in the moment with your companion because you know you have it good and you want to enjoy it during the seasonal time or right now at this moment, or you want to bask in this moment, and maybe you want to bask in the moment and have this kind of hermit time with your companion to figure out what could you add to make it better. And you scratch boarding ideas with your companion to see what could you add to make it more grander than what it is. So you decide to take all the external factors that would affect your relationship and sit by yourself with your companion to help build something better in your relationship. Either your companion is doing this, or you're doing this, or you both decided to do that to help craft the relationship better. So let me go ahead and get a clarifier This is actually a good reading for Aquarius. This is actually really good. Let's just see where this page is heading to or coming from. Oh, this one flip. The King of Coins in the reverse. So, this page for singles, this page is saying to me that they got a phobia that they don't earn enough, or they don't have enough financials under the belt to step up and talk to somebody. Either you're coming off like this at some period when you're talking to somebody, or they coming off like this to you, that whatever physically they built in their life is not enough to levitate somebody to them to be in a relationship. That's what I'm basically getting. That because they're young and really doesn't have anything of a foundation of themselves, it makes it kind of hard for them to offer something else to somebody when their stuff is looking very scattered when it comes to their foundation as a individual. And that's what this person is doing. Either you're doing this to somebody you're talking to, or somebody's doing this to you, that they're kind of easing off and not running up on you because they feel they don't have a solid foundation with their own thing. And that's, sometimes you have to come and get that wake up call or that cup of joe and take a sip and wake on it. So you have to kind of do that. If you already coupled up, what it's saying is that you're taking the standpoint back and not bringing nothing new into the relationship because you don't want to disrupt your foundation that you already built. You built something solid already with the Nine of Pentacles and you're enjoying it. Why bring something in to cause a disruption because to your foundation, or ruining the foundation you already have by rushing in something new to the relationship that you don't know what kind of effect it will have in the long run? Either your companion's doing this or you're doing this, that you're just not trying to do it because you don't want to disrupt something solid that you already built. So you're sitting back and, like I said, basking in the light of what you already have without interjecting nothing new to it, and definitely not interjecting nothing new to cause a disruption to a foundation you already built. So let's go ahead and see what the last card is. Oh yeah, you definitely not moving. They definitely not moving. Chariot in reverse. There you go. So for singles, what it's saying is definitely this person ain't moving towards you because their stuff is not stable. They don't have a control over, one, their finances. Number two, they don't have nothing to kind of offer anybody to make them levitate. They don't present themselves on a solid foundation when it comes to themselves because they're either too young, or they just haven't built nothing to offer somebody else to make it worth their while to get in a relationship with them. So they decided to kind of back off and not pursue it, or don't go down that path, or they trying to let it just roll off their back into a later time. Because if they go down that path and their stuff is not solid, maybe they have a sense that if somebody take them on, they taking on too much of a burden. That's what I'm getting. They taking on too much of a burden, or they feel that it would ruin their course on trying to build something for themselves. So they don't want to pursue forward, and they trying to kind of let it go. Either you're coming off like this, or somebody's coming off this like you. Now, you see this in another person, you may not want this person to run up, because you may not want this person to disrupt the foundation you already built for yourself without somebody in your picture as a one-on-one. So you kind of letting the dude just kind of fall off, or the girl, you're just trying to let them fall off on their own doing, kind of, because you're not trying to move ahead to get the person, because maybe you see if you took this person, they're going to be causing a conflict to the foundation you already built. They may be a person that you can't control, and when you try to get them in control to kind of make them work on the relationship a little bit better, they're coming off lazy and they're not paying attention to the information you bringing them or something. So you're not trying to move forward to get that person even in your spirit to be in a one-on-one relationship, because the person may throw what you have or your idea or your goal or what you want off when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship. And as for people coupled up already, what it's saying is, yeah, you're not venturing down that path. You're not trying to bring nothing new to the table. You're basking in the light of what you already built without causing a disruption or causing an imbalance on the initial goal that you have for you and your companion, and that is to have a better bond and a better connection. So why put in anything new without knowing what the final course is? And you probably know, if you go down that path, it's going to send everything that you already like about your relationship in a disarray. So you're not even trying to even pick up your chariot and crack that whip and get them horses moving down it. You just letting them sit at the water trough and drink and rest themselves up until you are ready to bring something new to the table when the timing is right, or when the timing is needed. Because if the timing is needed, is usually you see something faltering in the relationship. So you're not trying to make a move down that path to disrupt what you already have. So I hope you like this reading. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Go ahead and leave your comments at the bottom. You can thumb the video up or down, and I'll talk to you later.